Predator Badlands just came out, and there's some hints to it into the Alien universe. So a lot of people are asking me, how are the Alien universe and the Predator universe connected? How did it happen? Is it made by the same people? Is it the same universe, or is it just some Easter eggs? The truth is, at first, it was completely different, made by two completely different people. But eventually, back in the days, when they made Predator 2, there's a hint at the end. Since predators are hunters, you see trophies of like skeletons and or clues to things that they've hunted in the past. You know, like some type of character from out of Earth skull there, humans from down history, and one of them was a xenomorph, which is the alien from the Alien movies. So ever since that, fans have been going crazy with the idea of, okay, so it means it's the same universe. But at first it was just an Easter egg. But both creators were had nothing against the other, so it was kind of like teasing one another and appreciate the art of the other. Then it went into side stories that are not canon. You got comic books where they meet, and then there was video games where they meet. There's the Alien vs Predator as a video game and as a comic book existed for a long time, way before the movies. And then Hollywood eventually, when both of these franchises weren't making that much money, decided to actually do it and make movies together. They made two of them, which is for the younger people watching me, might be the only things that you guys have seen of either of them. But for people that have watched the entire franchises of both, they're probably the weakest movies and that entire saga, or those entire sagas. But they are still connected, and it's still happening to this day. Even in the new movie Predator Badlands, what I'm going to tell you is not really a spoiler. It's just some Easter eggs, really, because the Predators, even though it was usually from the human point of view, we never usually see that much of Earth. And when we see of Earth in the first Predator movies, it was more present day or certain times, until Prey, that was more in the past, while the Alien movies happen mostly in the future. Though they do, like the closest to our time is probably Alien versus Predator that go down in history, but it's usually way in the future. And in Predator and Alien, I mean, what you have is a big corporate company called Wayland, and Wayland eventually was bought by this Japanese mega company called Yutani. So it became Wayland Yutani. The company got bigger, and you have some more knowledge that you learn when you watch things like Alien Earth, the show, where you see that there's 5 different big companies that are actually controlling the world beyond the government. It's more the companies that took over because people didn't trust the government, but that's going way down in canon. And that story is getting really interested, because in any Alien movie, you're always gonna have a droid or a robot, you might call them, and they usually call them synthetics. So you always have one, but they're always side characters or like second. But you don't go down into them, into the history of why they're there, the society of Alien. It just always existed. And if you want to know more, you could always go check, Google it, Wiki it, Facebook it, TikTok it, whatever, to find out more, YouTube it. So that's pretty much the gist of the Alien mythology. There's companies that create synthetics and create technology, and those companies eventually they want to go out of space and send, because those companies, they're the one with the budget, they sent a crews out there to find out new things about the origins of the universe and so on and so forth. And what happens at the end of that is that Yutani, it's not at the end, but what I mean is that Wayland Yutani, the company, is a company that makes droids, that makes synthetics, if you rather that word. And if you look at Predator Badland, the main character is a predator, and it's actually on an adventure with a synthetic from Wayland Yutani. Wayland Yutani, which is a company from Alien. So then again, you have the connections. Like I said, there's no spoilers about the movie at all, but go see it. It's a really, really good movie. So you have that going on, and Alien with Alien Earth just exposed to so much more, because now we know that we have synthetics. We also have a new kind of robot that is more it's actually a human mind inside of a robot. We managed to transfer actual our consciousness into someone else, not a copy, but it's actually you dying physically and going into a synthetic. This is another kind of robot, if you want to call it a robot. Same thing when it comes to the creatures, you know, like the xenomorph was probably the only creature we've seen aside from anything connect to it, like the face hugger, which is actually the one that puts the egg of the baby inside of our body, or the alien queens that we've seen. And we've seen a couple of like genetic modification, monstrous things, you know, but naturally grown in space, except for the xenomorph, which is kind of a long story how it was created. We've never seen much, but in Alien Earth we've seen a few. There's one that is looks like an eye that could actually go into your eye and take your eye out and go in instead and control your brain. That's one of them. And there's a few others that we see. It was very, very interesting how the lore is actually expanding in the right direction, because both of these franchises need to be rated R. They really do. It's based on gore, but not gore just for the sake of gore, but just gore because it needs to be bloody. That's the concept. It's body horror. It's happening in the story. And even Badlands is actually the first movie in the franchise that is not rated R, if I'm right. And the only reason it's not rated R is because it's mostly another planet with creatures and robots and stuff like that. And when you have violence that is on fantastical things, or technology, or the blood is like green or whatever, this actually you have a lot more that you can get away with than if it was human violence, and that's when it would be rated R. If that was a movie with a crew of humans being like decapitated and stretched in half and stuff like that, it would be rated R without a question. So it's not the case for that. So all that to say that world is going to keep expanding. Both directors that have done stories for them have been very good at it, and they seem to get the right people for the job. Predator is on a good path. Some people haven't even seen Prey, and now Badlands is out. Eventually they'll discover Prey and Badlands, done by the same people. And the animated movie Killer of Killers, which is very good. And you don't have to see any of them in order or whatever, because they're always with new characters. That's the good thing about Alien. You're not following one person through sequels. It's just other stories about predators. So let me know if you've seen Alien or Predator. Are you a fan of both of them together, or have you seen only one or the other? Do you even have a favorite in between the two? You know, like me personally, I think I'm more of a fan of the lore of Alien, but I think that when it comes to what they've done lately, Predator has done more, because Alien so far has Alien Romulus, which is pretty good, and you have Alien Earth. But Predator is like on a roll right now. I don't know what's the next alien in line, but Predator's on a roll. So can't wait to see more. Let me know what you think. Peace.